Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Roguespirit Reviews, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite franchises of all time, which is Dragonball Z. And this video is mainly to celebrate Dragonball Z Kakarot's release on the Nintendo Switch. So I thought this video was appropriate, and believe me, I love every single Dragonball Z game. Like, I'm addicted to Dragonball Z, like, I sniff Dragonball Z, you know, like. So yeah, basically that's what today's video is going to be about. Oh, and before we begin, I just have to change. Give me a second. Let's do this, everybody. I'm Super Saiyan Roguespirit. Kamehameha! Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Roguespirit Reviews. Before we start this video, I just wanted to ask if you could just take a second to gather energy and aim that Genki Daimo at the subscribe button and share some of your energy with me by clicking on that like button, as it shows support and keeps my channel going. Thanks everyone. Oh, and if you're an old subscriber and you are watching this video, then thanks. I appreciate the support and your time. Okay, now let's start talking about some Dragon Balls. Some of these games that are going to be on my top 10 list are very personal to me, and I consider these the top tier Dragon Ball games that a fan should most definitely check out and play. This list will also only include the Dragon Ball games that I have played and beaten. Also, be sure to share your top Dragon Ball Z games that you have played and explain why down in the comment section. Okay, time to power up and go Super Saiyan. Starting with number 10, we have Dragonball Z Supersonic Warriors 2 for the Nintendo DS. A sequel to the GBA game, Supersonic Warrior 2 does everything way better in my personal opinion. The fights are fast-paced and action-packed, and you have to dash around the level and try to dodge your enemies' attacks and play fast while playing smart by having fast reflexes. The selection of characters that you get to play as are plenty, and the story mode is quick and easy to play and complete, and is very satisfying to unlock hidden levels and what if storylines. This game has a lot more than just a story mode. You also have the Z battle mode, where you have to go up against multiple opponents and you get ranked after each battle and get awarded points. And another game mode which I spent hours in, which is called challenge mode, where you get to take on certain characters, and as you defeat each team, the fight gets harder and harder, and unlocking new teams was so fun and kept me hooked for a very long time. The graphics are still amazing to this day, and the sprite work is very true to the anime. The music isn't half bad either, and the gameplay is fast paced and addictive. A great game and a great way to start this list. You can't go wrong with Dragon Ball Z Supersonic Warriors 2 if you need to scratch that Dragon Ball Z itch. Go play it. This Dragon Ball game isn't your typical fighter style game. Instead, this is a strategic, tactical, real-time JRPG game. The story, while weird for veterans, is a breath of fresh air for me, because the story doesn't follow the typical cut and paste anime story that we have been told many times before. Instead, there's a bunch of weird things going on, like multiple characters fusing together into one super deadly looking Super Saiyan fusion, which can wipe out multiple players on the grid, followed by a big special ki blast. The combat is very unique and engaging as you have to tactically and strategically plan your moves and try to knock as many characters out of the ring while doing special moves and performing special key attacks and combining combos so that you can deplete each opponent's health as quickly as possible. The enemy can block your attacks if you are not careful, and you can also do the same to your enemies as well. The biggest game mechanic is the fusion mode, as I mentioned earlier. You can basically perform this fusion by storing up energy and ki so that you can eventually fuse with all your characters and transform into a god and annihilate foes. You can even fuse characters together outside of battle by visiting the big huge Frieza airship and fusing characters like Krillin and Kid Goku into a new character, which is key to growing and getting stronger in this game. The gameplay is solid and each match feels like a big epic fight from an episode of the TV anime show. This game might come off as a bit weird and different, but it is a solid JRPG tactical strategic action game and I love every part about it. The graphics are amazing for a 3DS game and flying on the overworld map made me feel more immersed into the DBZ universe. The music is great too, and overall this game is a blast to play and I love it every time, so that's why I'm putting Dragonball Fusions at number 9. Give it a go, you won't regret it. I never knew that Dragon Ball Z had a prequel anime show and manga named Dragon Ball, which explained how Goku came to Earth and told the origin story of Kid Goku and his friends while they were still growing up, fighting against the Red Ribbon Army and King Piccolo himself, and eventually growing into the protector of the Earth who we all love to this very day was very interesting. I tried to rewatch the show, but I always stopped before the show actually picked up. Going from watching a Super Saiyan destroy Frieza and saving Planet Namek to watching Kid Goku run and deliver milk for Master Roshi was a big bore for me, so I stopped watching. Then in November 2004, I picked up Dragon Ball Advance Adventure for the Game Boy Advance. I played the first stage and I thought, this is decent, but it's pretty easy. It's like a beat 'em up arcade style game, but boy did this game ever blow my mind. See, most of the gameplay is you pretty much running left and right and using your abilities and special moves to wipe out waves of enemies which flag you from the left and the right side, and you can't escape nor progress into the level until you beat up all the enemies on screen, which then a right arrow indicator will prop up on the screen which will indicate that you can now progress deeper into the level and proceed. The graphics and sprite work is amazing and the gameplay is fast paced, smooth and very addictive. You may think this game looks meh and very simple, but my dudes, trust me, as this game progresses you learn new abilities and the stages become more complex and challenging. But damn, the highlight of this game are the one-on-one boss fights, which changes the beat 'em up side-scroller action gameplay and turns it into a more traditional 1v1 fighting game like Marvel vs. Capcom or Street Fighter. And after completing the main story mode, you unlock the versus mode, which is so fun and addictive, but too bad the character roster is so short. Going back to the boss fights, these are some of the best parts of the game, and man, fighting against bosses from the manga and anime show like Jackie Chun and Cow Pai Pai to eventually fighting the evil Demon King Piccolo himself is such a dopamine rush, and this game is a blast from start to finish. And it is one of the best ways to experience Kid Goku's origin story, as the story stays true to the original source, and this game is the reason I went back and eventually finished watching the original Dragon Ball anime, which I surprisingly ended up loving a lot once it picked up. That is why Dragon Ball Advance Adventure is number 8 on this list, and which is why I still remember this game to this very day. Good times indeed. And at number 7 we have Dragon Ball Z Buus Fury. I love the Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku series, and I really love playing and beating Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku 2. So you can't imagine the smile on my face when I realized that Buus Fury was Legacy of Goku 3. That's right, I used to stare at this game's cover at my local Walmart store and I thought it was just another boring failed DBZ game experiment like Taikitsu, or however you pronounce it. I hated that game, whatever. But yeah, it really sucked. Stay away from that game. Ew. But yeah, when I asked the electronics cashier if I could just take a look at the back cover after my curiosity has built it up, I needed to know what type of Dragon Ball Z game this is. And I noticed that it looked a lot like Legacy of Goku 2. And I asked my dad if I could purchase it for my birthday. I went home, popped this bad Super Saiyan into my Game Boy Advance SP, and it blew my mind. I was grinning non-stop ear to ear. Me and my close friend at the time took turns playing through this game in the hallways in our school, and man, what a game it was. It's everything I hoped it to be. It has the same top-down view and action from Legacy of Goku 2. The music was amazing, the sprite work and graphics are still top-notch, and a joy to look at, and man, the story is very faithful to its source material and even adds some new boss fights. For example, you get to fight Broly in this game, and going Super Saiyan 3 against Majin Buu and kicking Super Buu's pink slimy butt as Super Vegito never gets old. And the JRPG leveling up system makes grinding addictive and a blast, and exploring locales from the TV anime show is a bonus, and having access to an overworld map and flying around to reach your next story objective felt amazing and was very fun to explore and search for all the 7 Dragon Balls. The only reason this game isn't higher on this list is because you could literally make this game a joke by breaking the game by placing a bunch of skill points onto any stat that you wish to increase. I always increase my physical attack power, which makes this game way too easy, and the bosses can be a total joke. Other than that, this is still an amazing Dragon Ball Z game to play and is a good way to experience the Buus saga on a handheld system. Don't miss out on it and go play it for real. The best way to experience this game is to play Legacy of Goku 2 first and then immediately start up a new save file and play through this game. It's a blast. Oh yeah, stay away from Legacy of Goku 1 by the way, that game sucked. And at number 6 we have Xenoverse 2. The number one thing I look forward to when playing a new Dragon Ball Z game is the immersion. I want to basically fantasize that I'm inside of the TV show and that I'm fighting alongside Goku and his friends trying to help them save the DBZ universe. Well, Xenoverse 2 is one of the best when it comes to immersion. You basically get to create your own avatar character who gets recruited as a time patroller by future Trunks, and you must work with him as well as alongside the old Supreme Kai and the Supreme Kai of Time. And your orders are to protect the original Dragon Ball Z timeline from the anime and stop the timeline from rewriting itself and erasing key moments which happened in the original timeline, which thus led to the Z fighters winning key battles against key villains. The reason for all this headache is thanks to a new enemy who can travel to different timelines and interfere and change the course of the original timeline story. So as a time patroller, it is your duty to team up and fight alongside the Z Warriors and protect the events which are supposed to occur in the original timeline. First of all, when creating your avatar character, you can choose which race you want to be. Do you want to be a Namekian or a Saiyan? Obviously a Saiyan. You get to pick the hairstyle and facial features and customize the color of your gear. Oh yeah, this game is heavy on cosmetics, and unlocking new suits and gear and unlocking new super attacks and special Kai moves like Goku's instant transmission Kamehameha wave feels very good, and leveling up and getting stronger by completing parallel quests and online parallel quests and finding new masters to train under like Frieza himself or Broly so that you can adapt so that your character's playstyle is awesome, and when your relationship builds with your masters and mentors, they can even aid you in battle. Yeah, the story mode is short, but there's tons of things to do outside of the main campaign. Going online playing with friends is fun, and the DLC in this game is insane. I'm surprised this game got so much DLC. You can even play as Ultra Instinct Goku and create insane 3 vs 3 team battles. The graphics are pretty good, although the character animation during cutscenes can be a little iffy, but the music is good and I love the gameplay in this game. You basically perform combos by pressing either the square or triangle button, and you can follow up with the special attack or special long range attacks or an ultimate finishing attack. And as the story progresses, by training under certain characters from the DBZ universe, which you can seek in the main hub world, you eventually get to unlock their special moves as well, like Frieza's special attacks or Krillin's Destructo Disc, etc. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention that this game has a beautiful main in-game hub world for you to get lost and explore. And once you learn to fly exploring the main hub world, it is a blast, and you can even unlock transformations for each class of character, like going Super Namekian or unlocking Super Saiyan 3. And with the DLC, it even adds more transformations like Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan for your avatar character. Other than that, leveling up your character and growing stronger is a wonderful feeling, and if you are a fan of Dragon Ball Z, then this game is a no-brainer. Go play it, you will get lost for hours, especially if you download all the DLC. Thanks to it adding more quests and characters to fight and play as, it's completely worth it in my opinion. If you like playing online with friends and completing quests and role-playing as an Avatar Super Saiyan character which you created to help fight bad guys standing next to Goku and Vegeta, and if you are into DBZ roleplay, then this is for you. Absolutely a must-own. This is a good fighting game and is not a bad pastime. The gameplay is very simple. It's basically a 1 vs 1 2D fighter game. Performing special beam attacks and desperate final attacks feel great once pulled off during the heat of battle. However, the story mode is super short and disappointing. And the character roster, which is mostly strong for the most part, but because there are better newer games with better gameplay mechanics and more characters to unlock and choose from, Hyperdimension can be forgotten very easily in today's world, where we have been spoiled by so many better games from this franchise. But yeah, back in the early 90s, I understand why this game was so heavily praised by DBZ and fighting game purists alike. If only the game told a better story, and a longer one at that. The soundtrack is superb here, and hits me right in the nostalgia gut pretty hard. The character sprites and animations are superb and very well animated and expressed. The thunder which appears around Majin Vegeta to the ultra flashy desperate attacks, this is all wonderful eye candy for a gamer's eyes and pushes the graphical capabilities of the Super Nintendo, or Famicom if you're in Japan, pretty hard. If only the game had more Dragon Ball Z characters to play as and a better selection of stages to choose from, then maybe this would have had a spot on this list. But it's still a great game and a good time, so it's up to you if you want to check it out or not. And at number 5 we have Dragon Ball Z Buodkai 3. This game is a childhood classic, and to some fans it is the best Dragon Ball Z game ever made. The Dragon Universe mode was unreal for its time. Sure, the story cutscenes had this lazy cookie cutout character art box followed by simple text, and there aren't any cool in-game cutscenes, so the story in Dragon Ball Universe is told very quickly, and each character's story mode doesn't last that long, but it's the replayability that kept me coming back for more. Finding out that I could explore areas on the world map, which could lead me to unlocking a new capsule skill to equip to my characters like Instant Transmission Kamehameha, among other defense and Kai stat boosting capsules. But that's not all. You can replay each character's story mode and find new unlockable characters to fight, such as Broly and Cooler or Omega Shenron, and you can even unlock new transformations if you complete and visit specific locations and talk to certain characters, unlocking key moments and hidden transformations like Super Saiyan 4 Goku or Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta as well. The only thing that sucks about this game is that the silly fusions from Budokai 2, like Goku fusing with Mr. Satan to become Gokyo, are sorely missed from Budokai 2. Some of these fusions were hilarious, and I remember when me and my cousin were playing a match against each other one time, and he accidentally ended up fusing Goku with Hercule and didn't know what was going on, but I did, as I preset Goku's capsules and forgot to tell my cousin. I remember he just lost it and started laughing his ass off, and I laughed hard too because he beat me even though I was in control of the whole match. Good times for sure. The gameplay is solid and basically works like any other side-by-side fighting game, but DBZ Buodkai 3 feels more like a RPG game than it does a fighter, thanks to the ability to set capsule skills which each character can equip, and some capsule skills can only be equipped by specific characters. Same goes for the transformations. The gameplay can get annoying thanks to the Dragon Rush ability, which makes the fight slow down to a halt as you're forced to play through these mini games, which gives me the ultimate Tenkaichi vibes, and if you've played that game then you know where I'm going with this. These mini games I mentioned earlier are basically guessing games, which determine your fate by pressing a button and hoping that if you are the one performing a Dragon Rush, that the opposite player doesn't end up picking the same button as you, unless you are defending against the Dragon Rush, in which case you try to press the same button as your opponent in order to defend and null the damage received. If successful, when attacking your character with the Dragon Rush, they will follow through with the special attack, causing a lot of damage. And you can also teleport behind your enemies and counterattack if your key level or key energy, whatever it's called, is stored up. So that made the gameplay very strategic as well. And you need to make sure that your key energy is stored up as well so that you can perform special moves, abilities, and also complete transformations like going from base Goku to Kaioken to Super Saiyan Goku to Super Saiyan 2 to Super Saiyan 3 and then Super Saiyan 4. And you can even fuse characters as well, like Goku and Vegeta can fuse to become Vegito. Gotenks is amazing here. Honestly, this game was insane back in the day. I'm not even lying, or I'm not even trying to fake hype this game up. Other than that, there's Hyper Mode, which once activated, you can press and hold R2 to perform an ultimate attack, and then if you win the minigame which prompts up, you will perform the said ultimate attack and cause massive damage to your enemy's life bar. And believe me, the thing I remember the most about this game are the ultimate attacks, because damn are they ever flashy and go all out in this game. Trust me, I wish I had more footage, but I just started a new file and I still have to unlock the best ones, so I'm only going to show Goku's Super Spirit Bomb here. But trust, the ultimate attacks are amazing and worth performing against your enemies. The graphics are still great thanks to Cell's shaded style, and the gameplay still holds up, minus some flaws which can slow down the pacing of the fights, but the main gameplay is still fast enough and flashy, and DBZ fans will surely get a kick out of playing this game. The sound design in this game hits home as well, as you hear sound effects recreated and brought to life from the TV show. I still replay the Dragon Universe mode to this day and even have some great matches against some of my friends, and this game even has a lot of super cool characters to play as and unlock from the TV show. This game is a very good time and I highly recommend you check it out. Alright, let's move on to number 4. And man, have I been waiting to talk about this game. At number 4 we have Dragonball Z Legacy of Goku 2. There was a time when I was praying for a new Dragon Ball JRPG adventure game to play, and the gaming developer gods over at Webfoot Technologies answered my prayers when they released Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku 2 on the Game Boy Advance. This game was amazing. The story of the Android and Cell saga is told in its entirety and it is perfection. The text, dialogue, and writing truly immerses you into the Android and Cell saga, and the side stories which they included did not feel like filler at all. And the music is one of the best gaming soundtracks on the GBA system, and I still even jam out to these tracks until this very day. The top-down perspective and action-heavy gameplay and JRPG mechanics like leveling up and using capsules to increase your stats was just icing on the cake. The new Super Saiyan transformations were truly amazing, and punching and kicking animals as a Super Saiyan and using the Big Bang attack or Kamehameha waves was so badass and awesome and fun. I don't encourage harmful acts on animals, by the way, just saying. But yeah, these animals are evil thanks to Garlic Jr.'s evil mist, so I don't feel too bad. Not only that, but you get to select multiple characters to play as, such as Piccolo, Gohan, Vegeta, Trunks, and Goku, which was amazing and groundbreaking at the time. The first time I ran up to an overworld map icon and pressed the A button and found myself soaring across the game's overworld map, accompanied by an amazing overworld soundtrack, was a blissful experience, and the boss fights were tough and a challenge. If you are not careful, you can go from winning to ending up dying and getting a game over screen thanks to enemies ganging up on you or the boss going Super Saiyan on your ass. But my fellow Saiyans, I enjoyed every minute of this adventure game. Exploring West City and Capsule Corp was so immersive, and the graphics and sprite work is amazing, and just everything is so amazing about this game, truly. Like really, this is one of the best GBA action JRPG adventure games you can play on this system. Once unlocking Goku, you have the freedom to explore the whole overworld as you search for the 7 mystical Dragon Balls, and there are some cool side quests to complete, like finding all of the Namekians in order to unlock a special hidden boss fight against a very recognizable and terrifying villain. And leveling up every character to max level never gets old. This is an amazing experience, and if you have never played this game, then you need to instant transmission off of YouTube. Find a way to play this game by any means necessary and just get lost and immersed into this wonderful experience. But finish this video before you do that, because the next couple of games on this list are just as good, if not better in some aspects. If you do end up playing this game, please come back and let me know your thoughts and feelings on this game in the comment section of this video. Okay, time to charge up our key level and discover what the next Dragon Ball Z game is on this top 10 list. At number 3, we have Dragonball FighterZ, or some call it FighterZ. While I'm not the best at playing fighting games, this Marvel vs. Capcom style Dragon Ball Z fighting game is the fighting game that we deserved. It was finally released in January 2018 for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, among other consoles, and even the Switch eventually. I remember when I was geeking over this game, and man, this is probably one of the best 3 vs 3 tag team fighting games I have ever had the pleasure to play. It's very easy and simple for anybody to jump in and play thanks to its auto combo system, which is very easy to get into but very difficult to master. You see, using a simple auto combo gets the job done, but the damage that you cause would not be as much as compared to a manual combo, which allows more flexibility and allows you to fully maximize your damage potential. This game has over the top special attacks, and tagging out your character for another character on your team and continuing a combo is so satisfying. The main story mode is well told and is written by Akira Toriyama himself, but the gameplay in the story mode itself does get boring, but it's worth playing through once just to unlock Android 21. But the best way to experience this game is to go online, pick your favorite characters, and just go nuts. Practice makes perfect, but once everything clicks, then this game becomes so addictive that you won't know how long it has been since you have booted up the game. The DLC characters are superb and the finished character roster is very solid. There's no character that plays bad or plainly sucks, you just have to figure out which characters work best for your playstyle. The number of stages in this game is very disappointing though, and I wish we got more stages to play on. The art style and graphics in this game is perfection, and you can feel the intensity of a match when things get real thanks to character animations which play out during a special attack or ultimate attack, and linking up special attacks and then swapping them with a different character who comes in and uses his special attack, and then you swap him out and then a third character comes in and uses his ultimate feels very rewarding when you see your opponent's health bar drop to 0 in a matter of seconds. This is the Dragon Ball Z fighting game that we deserve, and it is a top tier Dragon Ball Z experience at that. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that, and I'm sure that most Dragon Ball Z fans already own this game. I can't wait for the next time I get to play this game and get my ass kicked by my cousin who's really good at it. This game never gets old. That's all I have to say about this one. Alright, we're almost there. For number 2, I am picking Dragon Ball Z Buodkai Tnekaichi 3. Sure, many fans are going to say that the story mode in this game sucked compared to Budokai Tenkaichi 2, but man, did they ever go all out when it comes to the gameplay, the ridiculous amount of unlockable playable characters. Like, no, seriously, I mean a lot of characters. Like, there are about 150 characters to play as in this game. That's insane. Even the most hardcore purist Dragon Ball Z fan won't be able to even remember or recognize some of these characters unless they really know Dragon Ball and its rich history and lore. It's that bonkers. The stages and arenas that you get to unlock and fight in are amazing as well. Truly, this is one of the best Dragon Ball Z games ever made. Sure, the story mode is weird because of the events that occur during the gameplay, which makes it feel very scripted, and scripted fights in a fighting game just don't work. That's a big no-no. But the gameplay is very refined and fast-paced and immersive. The fighting arenas, like I said, are huge, and they brought some classics back as well from the TV shows and movies. The special attacks hit hard, and doing a combo and then rushing towards your opponents and hitting them until you smash them into the ground or stun them to follow up with the character's signature ultimate move always feels great, and when it hits home, it hits hard. Teleporting behind enemies so that you can counterattack feels amazing as well. It makes for some of the most intense matches you can have in a Dragon Ball Z fighting game. The cel shaded graphics still hold up to this day and still look great. The soundtrack gets your juices flowing and gives you such a rush that you will keep coming back to this game for a very long time, especially if you have a friend to play with. With up to 150 Dragon Ball Z characters to choose and play as, and with so many great stages from the TV show and movies, this is one of the best, if not most praised Dragon Ball Z game ever made. And personally, I had a lot of late nights where I was too focused on trying to unlock everything in this game, and I don't regret anything at all. This is a must-own title that needs to be in every Dragon Ball Z fan's collection. I do recommend the PS2 version over the Wii version, as I felt that the PS2 version felt like the best way to experience this game, but the Wii version is still the same game at the end of the day, and you can play using Wii motion controls thanks to the Wii remote and nunchuck, but I prefer to play with buttons as I feel that's the most cohesive way to play this gem of a game. So what game could possibly top this game? Well, stick around to find out, but before I reveal my number one, I think it's time for another honorable mention, because I just have to talk about this niche Dragon Ball game, and I want to tell people how fun and addicting it is to play. Another honorable mention, Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission for the Nintendo Switch. To the best of my knowledge, this game is basically an awesome arcade Japanese card game which is popular in Japan, and it's been now ported to the Nintendo Switch. Have you ever imagined how Broly would look like if he transformed into a Super Saiyan 4? Or have you ever wanted to see Bardock go Super Saiyan 3? Okay, I got one better. How about this one? Super Saiyan 4 Gohan. I'm not even scratching the surface here. There are a lot of new as well as fan-made characters in this game, and it is insane. Like, I'm talking Budokai Tenkaichi 3 type of insane. The gameplay may look very confusing to newcomers, but it's honestly very simple. Each character on the grid has a stamina bar which increases if said character is placed on the defensive line. However, if said character is placed on the attack space, then that character's stamina meter will go down. You can choose which characters will fight and which characters will stay back and be ready to attack on the next turn. If your character's stamina meter runs out, then that character will take twice the amount of damage and will be unable to fight. The same rules apply for your opponents as well. You can also pre-select bonuses before a match. Other than that, the minigames from Budokai 3 and Ultimate Tenkaichi 3 come back in this one, as you have to press a button and hope you overpower your enemies in order to unleash your character's skill attacks and cause heavy damage to your opponent's team health bar. A bunch of crazy and random things can happen as well, and performing certain skills by pressing on-screen prompts felt very easy to perform, and watching your team go all out on a group of enemies is super satisfying, and it looks way over the top. The gameplay is solid, and adding these over-the-top fan-made characters like Super Saiyan 4 Broly to my team had me excited as if I was a little kid again. The story mode was very interesting and kept me engaged the whole time, and the main character that you choose to play as eventually learns how to go Super Saiyan as the story progresses, and tells a pretty fun Dragon Ball story. Even though it isn't the best, it is still interesting and very entertaining, as the characters from the Dragon Ball Hero card games come to life and start attacking people from the real world, and it's up to you to stop this craziness. You also gain levels like any other JRPG game after playing a match, and you even gain party members who specialize in different classes. Like, one character specializes in all-out Majin Race deck and is a Majin Race character himself, and another character specializes in a Namekian style of deck and is a Namekian himself. You can create custom cool cards, and there are other modes beside the story mode which you can play through, like the arcade mode, which is very popular and is very praised by fans who have played the original arcade version, and to me it's a fun time. Purchasing new rare cards from the card store and hitting a jackpot because you unlocked a new powerful ultra rare character to add to your party feels amazing. Seriously, this game is a good time, and I play this one a lot. Sure, it's not the best Dragon Ball game, and sure, it doesn't compare to the other games on this list, but it's still a mighty fun time, and that's why I had to talk about it and mention it in this video by adding it in the honorable section of this video. Check it out if you ever get a chance. It's not the worst Dragon Ball game ever made, far from it, that's for sure. But I understand if fans skip out on this one, as most don't know about it, or it might be weird to some fans. It might not be everybody's cup of tea, but man, this game is loads of fun for me, and I can see why the arcade game is so popular in Japan. Now hold on, before you all click out of this video and get mad at me, well, it's been like almost 40 minutes at this point, so congratulations for making it this far. You might as well just continue watching. But yeah, before you guys get mad at me for putting Kakarot in first place out of all these amazing Dragon Ball Z games, let me try and convince you as to why I picked this game as my favorite Dragon Ball Z game of all time. First of all, I'm all about the single player experience and prefer single player adventure games when it comes to how I enjoy playing my video games, and even though I truly do enjoy multiplayer fighting games, I will always prefer a single player story driven narrative experience that focuses on its world building and characters, which helps to immerse the player into the lore and story which the game developers have created for us to enjoy and play around and run around in these rich semi-sandbox style open world areas taken straight from the source. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot blew my mind when it first released onto the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It's also coming out on the Switch now, so that's cool. Flying around these huge open areas and fighting bad guys and gaining levels, running into long forgotten side characters from the TV show who give you optional side quests to complete. And yeah, I know most of these side quests suck and felt old school and meaningless with a lot of backtracking involved, but the other side quests were great and showed off some of the personalities of the characters involved in these side quests, like Yamcha for example, while adding and unlocking new game modes and challenges as you make your way from the start of the Saiyan Saga all the way through to the epic finale against Kid Buu. Truly made this a jaw-dropping experience for me as a Dragon Ball Z fan. I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z in a very long time, and playing through this game felt as if I was watching the TV show in its entirety. Yeah, the Cell Saga could have been handled a bit better here as certain scenes were missing, like Android 18 breaking Vegeta's arm. And yeah, the Android in Cell Saga did indeed feel rushed compared to the other sagas in this game, but the epic battle against Cell and facing off against Majin Buu reminded me of everything that made the cartoon anime so great and reminded me why it is still one of the best anime manga stories ever told. The boss fights are amazing in this game, as each boss fight makes you feel like you really are up against a world-ending threat, and the game does a wonderful job of making you feel like you are actually getting stronger. By the time you turn Super Saiyan 3, you really do feel like you have come a long way from playing as Gohan in the Saiyan Saga when he couldn't even fly, to finally facing up against Cell and transforming into a Super Saiyan 2 and performing all these crazy moves and unlocking all these new transformations and abilities until the game story mode finally reaches its climax. This is my go-to way of re-experiencing this amazing story. As this game is created by the same developer called CyberConnect 2, who have created the Naruto Ninja Storm games, which had amazing cel-shaded art and smooth character animations with amazing gameplay and over-the-top boss battles and animations during in-game cutscenes. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot also has amazing cutscenes, amazing boss battles, and the gameplay is so addictive and flashy. Pulling off intense combos and using ridiculous beam attacks has always been the heart and soul of every great Dragon Ball Z fight. Some people say the enemy variety isn't great, but I mean, they literally added every Dragon Ball enemy from the TV show and manga, and the further you progress in the game, the more enemy variety you unlock. Yeah, I wish they could have created some original enemies or maybe make some new original bosses, but there's still a lot to do in this game, like searching for all the Dragon Balls, destroying Frieza's airships and Red Ribbon army towers. Hell, they even included that one filler episode where Goku has to obtain a driver's license because Chi-Chi gets mad at him for not having one, and they turned the Goku and Piccolo trying to drive a vehicle into a minigame, which is hilarious. You can even hunt dinosaurs and hunt meat and fish that you can cook, transform into meals to boost your own attributes. There's a bunch of skills and abilities to unlock, and upgrades, and in-depth community board system, which when you complete certain side quests, you unlock character emblems and must strategically place them in the appropriate community board to enjoy the boosts and benefits that can help you during battles, like gaining extra experience points with additional extra beneficial stat upgrades. The DLC content is a joy to play through and experience as well. You get to fight Buus and you get to fight against Golden Frieza's army, followed by a superb boss fight. Even though not as challenging as fighting Buus himself, it still provided plenty of more hours to add on top of my 70 hours of total playtime. At least that's how many hours I spent just playing the story mode and completing all the extra content after the story mode, like hidden bosses and other side quests as well. I took my sweet time with this game. The Future Trunks episode DLC is faithful to the original source material as well, but I did feel like they added some things which they shouldn't have. Like for example, the Future Trunks special in the anime, the androids killed Gohan unmercifully and quick, which made his death scene hit hard and added extra shock value. But in this game's DLC, they show Gohan trying to send back the energy waves that Android 17 and 18 are launching down on top of Gohan, and it just dragged on for too long and didn't leave the same impact that the anime left on me. Yeah, I know I probably sound like one of those anal nerd type of people who takes their anime shows very seriously, or their anime games very seriously. It's probably the proper term here, but I guess that just shows how much I love the Dragon Ball Z franchise. If you love single player action games with a bit of JRPG mechanics and deep systems which adds to character growth, followed by a very deep and touching story about the relationship between a father and his son, and if you haven't watched Dragon Ball Z since back in the days, then trust me when I say that Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is where it's at. I keep coming back to this game and it completely eradicates my DBZ itch and satisfies the inner fan in me. I just wish that they added all of the Dragon Ball Z movies into the story of this game, and I believe that was a hugely missed opportunity and a huge flaw. If Kakarot incorporated all of the movies into the storyline and fitted them in where they were meant to be, then this would have been the ultimate single player Dragon Ball Z experience ever made. But still, Kakarot is great, and for these reasons I have mentioned in this video, is the reason why I put Dragon Ball Z Kakarot in the number 1 spot. Oh yeah, the soundtrack is loyal to the original soundtrack from the Japanese show, so that's awesome as well. Thanks for watching this video and making it towards the end. I wish I had a sensu bean on me. No, truly, I appreciate it. I understand that this video was a very long video, and honestly, I don't blame you guys if most of you didn't make it until the end, but I just had to geek out about these games and do them justice. Please don't forget to like and share this video with your friends, and please subscribe, help your Super Saiyan homie out, and other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope that I did these games justice when talking about them. Well, I guess I'll catch you all on the next episode of Roguespirit Reviews. Kamehameha, y'all!